Brown Girl Banter.
I am Dr. Lucretia Dangerfield.
And I am Dr. Patience. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're looking at this. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's y'all been up to?
What have you been up to is the question of the day, ma'am.
Oh, let's think about what has been going on since the beginning of March.
Mm-hmm.
What I have been up to is really trying to stick to what I said I was going to do at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And that was to stay focused on one thing at a time.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. How's it going?
It was not going. It was not. It didn't go very well at first.
Okay.
And then I had to, God had to say, girl, what did we say at the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
Focus and double down in one area.
Good.
And I was like, okay. So I've been doing that, been practicing meditation. So
good.
I've been doing meditation every day for this month, which has really connected me to bring me into my own feelings and my own space.
I love that. Good for you.
So that's something of what I've been doing. Let me see. The other thing is practicing with my mental health, really focusing on that, because realize that seasonal affective disorder is a real thing.
It's real. I have so many clients going through it right now.
So March, from November up to March, your girl was like, when is the sunshine coming back?
I know.
And then it's still cold, but it's sunny. I love it.
I'll take the sun.
Yeah.
Even if it's a little cold, I will take the beautiful weather.
Sun
like the
every day.
Brightness, the longer lasting days.
Yes.
It definitely changes your mood and your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Not so snappy.
Yeah. So what you been up to?
Oh man, I think I have been trying, I think we talked about this last month, really to just hone in on what the world I'm doing. I don't know how many of you all are like mothers, wives, sisters, friends, working, entrepreneur, all the things. And it is exhausting. It just is exhausting.
It is.
And so I'm just trying to figure out a healthy balance for it all. It's just kind of like, what can I take off? What can I leave on? What is priority? What is secondary? Just really that. But we just survived spring break with the kids. So me and my husband took the kids to Orlando for spring break. Don't know how many of you have done that before. But their spring break, a family trip is not for the adults.
No.
It's not. The family trip is for the kids.
Yes.
The kids go, they have had a blast. You still sleepy, you still tired, you still cranky, you still all the things. But they had a blast, so that was really nice. And then you come back and you're still trying to catch up and figure out your life. So really a lot, like on the professional end, just trying to see all my roles and what I want. How can I kind of funnel that down to something that's manageable? And then the other part was just trying to give the kids a great spring break and a good time. And we did. It was really nice.
Yeah, sure
it was Lennox's first time in the water, and so that was really
cute.
How did they go? Good. Lennox is a G. Like, that's like a thug baby, He'd be like, what? This water don't scare me. I was like, I love this, Lennox. He about that life. So he had a ball. So we had a really good time, but I'm still tired.
I'm sure.
I'm still tired.
You need a vacation from your vacation.
Hello.
Yeah.
Why don't people understand that?
You should get a 2-week thing. You say 1 vacation, then week 2 vacation from my vacation.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to put on my messages. So that it's email message response.
I took a vacation, but now I'm taking a vacation from my vacation.
Exactly. But overall, things are well. I don't really have a lot of, I could complain, right? Can't we all? But I'm choosing not to today.
No.
So that's been up.
Yeah.
So we wanted to let you all know we have started this month. We're implementing a new part of our recordings.
Yes.
Which is our hot topics part, because me and Lucretia love a good hot topic. The part that I think really wanted us to implement this is a part of Brown Girl Banter is like we are talking about sitting around with your girlfriends, having a good time, talking, and usually there is something that is just a hot topic that really is just going with both of us. So we both chose our hot topic for this particular episode, and so I'm gonna let Lucretia go first, and then I'll do mine, and then we'll kind of talk about for a few minutes what craziness, or maybe not so craziness, is happening that we want to talk about. What's going on, girl?
So what I want to talk about is, are we being removed from daytime television?
Say more.
Because I was thinking about, I saw the thing where they're talking about the real, the daytime talk show show it's rumors it's going to be canceled.
Wow.
And so I'm like, that's one of the most diverse shows that we see Black women, women of color talking about things that impact us.
Yeah.
And then, then we have Wendy Williams' show. It's been canceled, which, we know there's some things that were going on with her, but her show, she was a long running show. Yeah, we still have Robin Roberts in the morning, and we have Gail King. But daytime television, are they easing us out?
Right. Well, Sherry Shepherd's supposed to be getting the show to replace Wendy Williams, so that gives us a little something.
We'll see.
We'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, but then also it's almost like when that big blow up happened on The Talk, and then they brought in like two men to kind
of balance that out.
I'm like, that wasn't hot to me either.
Yeah. It doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Where it was a show where it's women. So it kind of makes you think, do we have to bring in men to kind of save the day?
Exactly.
And that women can't have a show and carry the merits on their own.
Exactly. Because I'm like, the absence of women of color, Black women doing daytime television is that is a voice being lost. Because honestly, love you, Robin Roberts, if you ever see this, ever. But she is not as vocal, and I get it. I mean, just about sometimes, like when I'm watching Good Morning America, that's the only one I really watch. TJ Holmes will be like, he's going to say what he has to say.
Yeah.
But like Robin, you can see kind of rides that fence a little bit, and I get why she has to do that. But like shows like The Real and Wendy Williams, like they say
what things that impact us, especially as women of color.
Yeah.
Because you're sitting out there, you're like, okay, I need somebody to have a voice in the wider America.
Yes, exactly. So in the absence of them, I hope they work hard to find people to replace and bring in our voice.
Yeah.
We need our voice to be heard.
We do. That's why we do what we do.
That's why we do what we do. Exactly. We found a hole. We're like, there's a hole.
And we're going to feel this.
Exactly. Girl, so let me tell you, I have a new obsession.
Okay, what is that?
So I am into this show called My Killer Body. Have you ever seen My Killer Body?
I haven't seen it. I saw the previews, but I have not seen it.
Okay. Have y'all seen My Killer Body with K. Michelle? I'm not sure if y'all have. Let me tell you. So this talks about botched plastic surgery.
Plastic surgery, yeah.
And the intro, even with K. Michelle talking, she's just like, I was in this beast that we call, entertainment.
Yes.
And I felt I had to have a certain booty, a certain tummy,
had to create this look.
Yes, for it to be accepted, for people to watch my videos, for me to be liked. And so, I mean, if you don't like gory or gross looking things, like, look, don't watch it. But I mean, the things. Okay, it's one thing to go. I'm not against plastic surgery, so let me not say that. Like, I hope that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if there's a 2-for-1 coupon though for you to go,
that's not being done by
BBL,
a certified plastic surgeon.
Hello, like people's stomachs from their intestines showing, skin burnt, leaking things. It is just, and I get sad watching that show. I won't lie, because it's like, to what extent
are you going to almost take and we know there's people that have lost their lives because of that. Are the far-reaching repercussions of later they have to go in and remove, are you hear about people getting cement, things like that. And I follow a couple influencers, and they did not share their story of what happened when it first started happening. You just kind of noticed that they were missing. But then later on, come back and tell that they've had a BBL and they had some complications. And so it's like, did you go to a replicable?
Got it.
Plastic surgeon, or did you go to one of these places that can do it? Because I didn't know in some states you don't have to be certified as a plastic surgeon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can be a general practitioner.
Oh, wow.
Just take some classes. That's how some of these clinics get to do it. So so you have to be very, very do your research.
Do your research.
And be willing to pay money. So, because if you can get it done for $2,000, that probably is not.
It's not. And like the mental health toll it is taking on those people. It's men and women on that show.
Yeah.
I mean, like they are sitting in pain all day. And I had a recent incident where I fell. Don't even need to go into detail. But broke my wrist and had a contusion on my thigh. And I was in so much pain for like 6 weeks. And I'm like, I see how people are miserable, like how that impacts your mental health. I mean, these people are crying. People had like stuff put in their cheeks and their faces. I mean, it's just so sad. And I'm like, the therapist in me is like, is this a self-love, a self-worth, a self-value, like issue, whole? Did somebody not tell you I love you enough? You're beautiful, you're smart, like you don't need, or is it, Lucretia knows how I feel like death of social media. Like, is it that I just keep swiping, comparing myself to all these people that I'm willing to take any risk to look like someone else, to be accepted or loved? And I'm like, it's just, it hurts my heart. I'm almost like, dude, even if you're thinking about going to get something done, maybe talk to somebody before you do it make sure.
Ask yourself the question. And I don't know if they make, like if you're going through with a certified place, if they make you go see a therapist prior.
I think so.
But just thinking about even when individuals have gastric bypass or something like that, they do require them to do some, do some work and to have, go to therapy and to talk about, what it is. So maybe that's a move that needs to take place, is that let's work and see what it is about, yourself, like what's the real reason for the change.
Exactly. So let me say this, look, this is our opinion, but look, I love y'all. So if they saying to you, come to this hotel room in Miami, I'm gonna hook you up. If there's some Instagram prize winning coupon, if there is something that just doesn't feel or seem right, or if it's too good to be true,
it's probably too good to be true.
Hello. So I want you all to take that into consideration when you are doing that, because it is, these are lifelong issues
and could be fatal in some cases.
Yes,
so,
it is
so
like
be careful.
My new obsession though, y'all. Can be on, what is that, Lifetime that covers on? I think it is.
I think it is.
You want to talk about dope, 600-pound life, 1,000-pound sisters, anything like that, I'm all in, because of the psychological component of it. It's just super interesting to me. But my killer body now, that has definitely become my obsession.
Check it out. I forget about it. I saw the previews right before it started coming on, and I forgot about it. So I'm gonna have to check it out.
Commend K. Michelle too for being honest about what happened to
journey.
her. Yes, and how people were dogging her on social media, but that she stuck with that and now is in this place where she wants to help other people. I commend her.
Helping them to walk along that journey.
I see you, K. Michelle. I see what y'all here doing in these streets. Good for you, girl. Good for you. But speaking of that, we really wanted to talk today about Black women.
Yeah, the state of Black women in 2022.
Exactly. We were talking just now about just the psychological component that things can have on you, and how it impacts your mental health, your emotional health, even your physical health.
Yes.
And we talked about this, I think, in season 1 and probably season 2 of just how Black women, we are always, if you look at the rates of like hypertension, if you look at maternal rates and all of these things, that's obviously whatever's going on with Black women, it is having a physical effect.
Yes,
on them.
Most definitely. Even though we show up strong, what's going on inside our bodies that a lot of times is telling the real story. Yeah.
So by the time you see this, our hope is that we have a new Supreme Court Justice. But we don't know if you've been watching the confirmation hearings. Have you been watching the confirmation hearings?
I watched bits and pieces.
Because I get triggered, so I don't watch the confirmation hearings. I'm going to be 100 with y'all. I have watched clips.
Bits and pieces, and I, have to applaud Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson for sitting there and being questioned, being ridiculed, being lied on as a Black woman sitting in front of people. I won't even call them peers. People that that do not have the education, the experience, but trying to call you to task. And she sat there with a smile on her face, or sometimes a grimace, about, just like, and I'm like, oh, I could only imagine, you say, when she go at the end of the day, after this experience, when she's confirmed, will she still be able to really sit down and celebrate it for the experience? Because I'm sure some of that was triggering.
Oh gosh, yes, definitely.
Now I do have to give it to Senator Cory Booker for him coming to support and to speak for life back into her.
Yes, because that cup was probably getting empty. And I think somebody said too, who's an attorney or something, they were like, Cory Booker's speech actually gave her a reprieve.
Yes.
So it stopped all those questions and her getting hounded. It kind of like gave her a minute to like breathe.
Yes.
And, so people were like, because some people are, it's always some haters out there, like frustrated that he was going on and on. But like, she needed that. She needed a minute to like.
Somebody to stand in the gap.
Yes.
And shield her so that she could say, oh, right. I can breathe. I can stand back up. I can sit back up in this chair with my shoulders back and being the confident woman that I am.
Yes. But how many times, here we go, Patience Ruffin, have we been in corporate America, nonprofit America? It doesn't matter. And there are no Cory Bookers. There is nobody there to stand in the gap. There's nobody there to give us a woosah or a deep breath or a minute to kind of gather ourselves.
Right. That's true.
We just have to be gut punched and we have to be belittled and treated as if we don't know anything or less than. Really, because all of that was displacement. They were mad about Amy Cohen and Kavanaugh or whatever his name is, who neither handled themselves with as much grace as she did. Right. And we don't get that opportunity for a reprieve. We just have to sit there.
And sometimes feel like we have to take it.
Yes.
And we have to smile and grin through it. And even talking about not talking about her journey, and then I think about right now we like, okay, we've come far, but we still haven't come far enough, because I even think about in corporate America that right now we only have 2 black CEOs of Fortune 500 companies.
That's crazy.
And Ursula Burns was the first one with Xerox, but then we have Tashonda Brown. She's with TIAA, and then we have Rosalind Brewer, who is Walgreens. Those are the 2 that we have, but and as African American women, we are the leaders in starting our own business, but running a Fortune 500 company. There's still not a space made for us. And then also it goes back to the whole gender equity, hey, wealth gap, all of that. Regardless of how much work we do, we still have to work 10 times harder just to get to a certain standard. Yeah,
and I'm just like, so there, during the court proceedings when Cory Booker was talking, somebody was like, oh, I know she doesn't have to show up strong, but I wish she just wouldn't have cried, right? And I'm like, but she's human. Human. I mean, I have cried at work before. Like, that is a natural response
to some hurt.
Right. Some hurt, some disappointment, some pain, some, being responsible, or I guess emotional. I have to regulate my emotions, but you don't have to. So the injustice of it all. I'm crying because this just ain't fair.
Right. And you go, but a lot of times what we do is we close the door and cry. We don't cry in the meetings. Like, even though you sitting there and you're like, either I'm fed up, or I'm hurt, or I'm disappointed, you're like, okay, I gotta hold it in, gotta suck it up. Yeah. Then you walk out of the meeting, you're like, don't speak. Don't speak to me right now. I have to go to my office space so you can have a safe space. Or I remember when I was working in a nonprofit, and I had been in a meeting with my then director, which she was an African American woman, but I was in there also with my direct supervisor, which was a white woman, and I would sit there and I was listening to them lie. She was lying. So after the meeting, I just got up, I grabbed all my stuff, and I left, and I went outside to my car, and I cried. And then the director called me later that afternoon. She's like, hey, I need you to come back over here. And as soon as I heard her voice, I just started crying again. And she was like, oh, wait a minute, what's wrong? What's wrong? And she said, I know they were lying. She said, I could see it all over your face. She said, because you were shaking your head no while they were saying yes. But I was like, I was just tired of that story.
Yeah. That's it.
So yeah.
And it's like showing up in that. And I have had white supervisors that were amazing.
Is it? Oh yeah.
I mean, amazing. One of my supervisors, I talk to her to this day. I love her. And then I've had some that were horrible.
Yeah.
And so you never know what you're going to get. But even when they're good and even when they suck, you still feel this responsibility to show up a particular kind of way. It's just the truth of it.
It's what we've been taught.
It's what we've been taught. It's like, even if you are the kindest person who maybe I do feel safe with, and you're the worst person I don't feel safe, how I show up is you're going to get this version of me regardless.
Right. Yes.
And so I wonder, does that impact how the world sees us and how, because it's like, I was looking at this article where it's like, when we talk about social change or advancement of women, are we talking about us? Are they talking about us, or are they just talking about other people? Everybody but us. And so it's like, exactly. I mean, if you look at the numbers, it seems like they're not talking about us.
Right.
And so it's just this idea and concept of like, does the way I show up strong, even though I don't maybe want to, don't take no mess, but still inviting and welcoming. I could be all of those things at the same time.
Yes.
Does that make you uncomfortable? And so thus I don't get the promotion. I don't get the raise. I don't get the title. I don't get the thing because I won't show up the way that's comfortable
for you.
Yes.
And then that goes back to why the numbers are high when it comes to health disparities, but the numbers are low when it comes to positions.
When at the end of the day, culturally and just in our community in general, we need the promotions the most.
Yes,
we need that income
to help support and bridge that wealth gap.
Yes, within our community, and it's just within our homes and everything else. It's just a very unfortunate situation. And I mean, we were talking even today, like, about the act that passed regarding hair.
The Crown Act.
Yes, and it's like, why do we have to have a full-blown act to say you can wear your hair whatever way you want to when you go to work?
Right. Why does somebody have to weigh in
to approve my hair?
Right.
That's nuts.
Hair has nothing to do with your education, your experience, what you bring to the table. It has nothing to do. Yes, for us, a lot of times it's a part of our personality. It's a statement. We're like, oh, I get to wear my hair like this because it's part of who I am. But somebody weighing in saying, oh, it's okay for you to wear your hair natural.
Yes. I was so frustrated on my friend. If she watches this, she gonna be mad at me. But she called me like, I'm thinking about going to get braids, but I got an interview coming up. I said, so get the braids. Like, there's no question.
But she still questioned.
She still questioned it. And I was like, go get the braids. And she was like, sorry, y'all, my family, they looking for me. I was like, go get the braids. And so she's like, well, people still judge you if your hair is in a particular kind of way or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so you are telling, like, I got so, she was laughing so hard. I got so enraged. Like, you are telling me that you would still go work somewhere that people are not willing to accept you because you have braids, then you don't need to take that job anyway. That is the worst place ever for you to go work. They're not, like, she was like, you just been out the business is too long.
But you know what I've noticed on LinkedIn, where people are making more of statements, like they'll either they talk about their new headshots, or I had an interview today and I decided to wear my natural hair.
Yes.
So it's really still something like what we're saying. I still have to. In 2022,
that's ridiculous.
we're still like saying, "Oh, can I wear my natural hair? Or what? Can I wear braids? Or can I, you know?"
I guess my question too, like before we wrap up, I'm always in this mindset of like, how do I'm gonna speak for myself, encourage people like my friend, or encourage women who are in jobs or in situations where they feel like they're not being empowered, which is our motto. That's what we believe.
To show up as who they are.
Like what can we do or I do to, you know, they might say, well, you're an entrepreneur, or you don't, you know, like you're paving your own way. Like what is it that we can do to help besides do this, encourage women and to kind of like give them the I always
permission?
Yes, I always tell people, Lucretia, I always tell y'all this, bless my heart, when she was like, what's your exit strategy about things? You know, and I still use that even with clients to this day. But like, what can we do to encourage women who don't want to stay in the company? They want to go up. They want to, you know, grow there. Somewhere, but still feel like their voice isn't heard, or feel like they have to not be authentic or genuine. Like, what can we do, or how can we help people with that? Those feelings, those thoughts, those things.
My thing is, start thinking about what is your it's really around personal branding.
Okay.
So really questioning and asking yourself, what type of leader do I want to show up as? And how authentic is that to who I am? And it also goes back to values. Something that we never want to not have as part of our growth and development is to step away from my values.
Yeah.
So what values are you willing to stand on? Regardless of how many times you get knocked down, it's your values that make it so important. So if you're at a place that makes you question your values, then you have to question, is that a space that you want to continue in? But do you want to be a change agent? Because sometimes stepping out there being a change agent will require you to take some hard hits to get to where you want to go.
I love that. That's a word. See, that's why you let her. I don't have anything to say to that. That is excellent. I think the values part is so important too, and sometimes we forget about that.
Yeah, we put them on. We kind of set them on a table sometimes. Yeah.
Well, guys, we are so glad that you spent this time with us today. Yes. You know, we could go on and on about the plight of the Black woman. We probably come back to it again because we just are so passionate about, if you like pay attention to us, it's all about empowerment, encouraging, you know, women of color to be who you want to be, who you desire to be, who you are to this day, and loving that person and accepting that person. I think that's such a big part of it. So again, we hope we got a new Supreme Court justice by next time.
Yes, hopefully by the time you watch this, or by the next time we come back, we will know. For sure. We hope that you keep bantering, and we will see you in our next episode. Y'all take care out there. Bye, Brown Girl Banter.
Bye, Brown Girl Banter.